Okay, welcome to a video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter O'Neill. Quite a rare occasion to be filming this late in the evening, I know. Check out the website. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a UK reseller. I buy and sell antiques, collectibles, anything weird and wonderful, and flip them for a profit. Today, I've got some news. I got some, really nice news, to be honest with you, which is really, really nice. I'm going to share some news. We can have a little chat, just general chat. I've been asked by quite a few subscribers to show my dog. So I've got a few photographs of the dog with me, and I've got a little haul to share with you. It wasn't much of a haul. As you all know, in the UK this week, we have had record highs of temperatures. Temperatures in the UK that have, to be honest with you, not been around since 1976. 40-degree temperatures in some areas, with schools shut in, trains shut in, car boot sales shut in. Now, I experienced it on Sunday. I was at my local car boot sale, and I'm not kidding you, it wasn't half full. And there was nothing to buy. The only people that were out really were the hardened car booters, the general public who normally fill a car up and you get stuff off cheap. They just didn't turn up. They really didn't. So my haul video is going to be pitiful. I got like 7 or 8 items to share with you on the haul. But I have got some topics I want to talk about. And as I say, I have that really special news that I am absolutely over the moon with. I want to wait for a few people to come in, so I may start off with just sharing the pictures of my dog, because where she's come on the video a few times, people have come in and said, "Oh, who's that?" And they've all been messaging, "Can I see photos of her?" So I'm going to share a few photos of my dog, even though it's not a dog channel, purely because I've been asked to. And I want to talk about, let me see, the website and some changes I'm making and so forth. Let's come across here. So here we go. That is my beautiful Snowball, pure breed, pure white German Shepherd, and she doesn't shut up, but she is a very loving dog, as you will see. She loves her dad. Look at that. You wouldn't think I'm not a dog person, really, but you wouldn't think it, would you? Just looking at her makes me smile. She's a pain in my backside, I tell you. Everywhere I go, she's there and she doesn't shut up. But yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. Richard, I know you will like seeing these fella. So that's for those of you who wanted to meet Snowball. That's what we named her. We had her from 7 weeks old. And yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. So for those of you who wanted to meet my dog, there she is. Should we start off with the news? Babs in the attic. Good evening, and I'm not sure how I'm going to pronounce this. Please don't judge if I'm wrong. Guaz. First time here, just looking at the shop. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. And lovely Canters. I just had a message off yourself. Thank you. Just watched a dyslexia video. I just read it now, where you were diagnosed when you were 6. Yeah. Thank you very much for the comment. Hopefully today's video won't be as nervous as the dyslexia one. When it comes to talking about myself, I'm absolutely atrocious. It was like when I done the video on depression. I just really, if it comes to talking about myself, I'm like a deer in headlights. I just freeze. But fortunately, when I talk about antiques and collectibles and things, then, I'm a little more at ease. And welcome, Stan. Wow, catching alive. Stan, thank you for joining, and thank you for all the help and all the support I've had off you forever. Absolutely fabulous gentleman, always more than happy to help me. Anyway, I want to share my news first of all, and then I've got a little order sort of thing to follow, and I got some lovely bits of stock to show you. So shall we show you my news first of all? If you're on my Facebook or my Facebook page for the company, then you'll already know this. Now this is SME News, and basically this is the Welsh Enterprise Awards, launched in 2017, and it basically rewards businesses and celebrates businesses in Wales that basically have something to offer for cultural heritage and all the rest of it. And I have actually been nominated. Now, I have no idea who nominated me for this, so if it's somebody who watches my channel, thank you very, very much. Now, I don't know how far I'm going to get, if I get anywhere at all, but to be nominated for a Welsh Enterprise Award was absolutely wonderful and really nice of whoever nominated me. I don't know if it was to do with my website, if it was to do with the helpful how-to videos I do, if it was to do with my vlogs, or if it was to do with the shop. I have no idea, because all I had was the email saying I was nominated and would I accept the nomination. Let's try and see, where is it? Basically, it just asks, I've had an email off them and they've asked me if I want to submit any supporting documentation or any anything that will bolster my nomination. And to be honest with you, I haven't. I'm happy enough for them to just look at my website, look at my YouTube channel and everything else. And if I get anywhere, I get somewhere. If I don't, I don't. Do you know, just to be nominated for the award and shortlisted was really, really wonderful and such a lovely gesture. Really made me feel all warm inside. So thank you for that. So yeah, really, really pleased. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever been nominated for anything like that. So I don't care if I don't win. I'm not being funny. There are so many more companies and businesses out there far more deserving than me. Just to be nominated was a wonderful, you know, well, they don't announce the winner, and I don't know if you vote or if they just judge it. I have no idea how it works. All I know is I had the email saying I was nominated, but that was nice enough on its own. Right, where are we at? Chop, busy. Great video on the dyslexia. Thank you. I felt I was a bit nervous. To be honest with you, I had loads I wanted to talk about and the nerves got in there and I just couldn't do it. I struggled. I really did struggle. I have actually been writing an article for months on dyslexia. I still haven't finished it because it's taken forever. But I want to put that on the website just because there's a lot in there I feel can help anybody who wants to actually be a reseller or be self-employed. It doesn't matter if it's antiques or whatever. There's going to be loads in there teaching you how to use, you know, computers, everything, just helpful things that I hope, even if it only helps one or two people, it was worth writing. But I did felt I was nervous, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment. How's my hay fever? Sinus, no fun. You'd be pleased to know this year I haven't suffered with hay fever at all. This is the first year in a decade or more that I haven't had hay fever. I don't know what's happened this year. It's like I woke up one morning and said, no, I don't want it anymore and give it away. I literally don't. I haven't been suffering with hay fever at all. Is Walter your real name? Seen all the videos, you say different one. Well, if you look in the description of today's video, you will see my name is actually Walter Edward O'Neill. So sometimes I go by Walter, sometimes I go by Edward. But if you look in the description today, you'll see my full name is actually Walter Edward. Normally, I go by Walter if it's official or if I want to be taken seriously. For my friends and family, it's Edward. So that's how you'll have conflict, especially if you watch older videos and Sandra's in them. She used to call me Edward a lot, so that's where a lot of confusion comes in. But that is my name. I think I'm the third or fourth in line to carry the name on, but it died with me. I won't put any of my children through that name, let me tell you now. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Enterprise Awards. If it can, let me start again. If it's a voting system, believe me, I will advertise and ask you to vote for me. If it's just they judge it and they pick somebody who they feel is worthy, no problem at all. I'm just happy to be nominated. Now, I've had a request. Obviously, you saw I had the request for the dog, but as you can imagine, I have hundreds of emails every day. And I've had quite a few people messaging me saying, look, we'd like to buy off you, but the stuff you sell, we just can't afford. It's just way too high for what we can afford. So I've been asked and asked and asked, would I put cheaper items on the website? Well, what I started doing this week, because the car boot sales were so bad, I've actually started digging into the old shop stock, stuff that used to sit in my shop. And I've actually started listing stuff at 15 and 20 pounds. So there will be a full range of everything on the 10, 15, 20 pound items that used to sit in the shop. So for those of you who did ask that, I have started doing that. And the way it was put across to me is a few of you are struggling to relate to some of the things I buy. Because a lot of what I buy is out of the reach of a lot of people. And I do appreciate that. Sometimes I'm buying stuff in the hundreds, even £1,000, and not a lot of people can do that. So I am going to try and include some cheaper items in my videos. To be honest with you, I'm very selective. I was under the impression people only wanted to see the really unusual, the rare, the spectacular stuff. I didn't realize people actually wanted to see pretty much everything I bought, because I do buy a lot of cheaper items as well, run of the mill, but I think personally they're boring. That's why I only talk about the really good stuff. But I've had a couple of complaints where people, they're struggling to relate to the product I'm buying, and they want to see some of the cheaper end. So when I'm out and about and I pick up these cheaper bits, rather than filter them out in future, I am going to actually put them in the videos. So that'll cover that side. Where we at? We are down. Mew the King. Caden, hello. How are you doing, my friend? That is Sandra's boy, if I'm not mistaken, from the other day. I will have to make you a moderator, but I don't know if I can do it whilst I'm live. Bear with me a second. Mew the King. There you go. Add moderator. There you go. I promised Sandra I would. What's the best pickup you've ever found? Look, it's Mike Hunt. I'm not going to read that fast. Okay, Mike. One of the best ones I've had was the £20 chair I had back a few months ago in Splot that turned out to be an Ashanti throne. I paid about £20 for it, about $24, $25, and I've actually got it listed currently at £4,000. And there is an identical one in the London gallery for something like £5,000, £6,000. So yeah, that was one of my better ones, but I've had so many where I've paid a couple of pounds and made thousands. But I've also had it the other way around, where I've paid £1,000, £2,000 and made a massive loss. I'm not afraid of gambling. I bought a dumbwaiter. A dumbwaiter is a 2 or 3 tier table, not the type of dumbwaiter where you'd pull up and down like a lift in a building. The dumbwaiter I'm referring to is a table that you'd spin around for serving. And I bought the dumbwaiter that belonged to William Crochet in Cyfarthfa Castle. They were the family that brought the iron industry into South Wales. They built Cyfarthfa Castle in 1812, something like that, over 200 years ago. Anyway, I paid about £2,000 for a dumbwaiter that came from the castle with Providence. After owning it for a couple of years, I took it up to Christie's or Sotheby's. They valued it at £2,000 to £4,000. Didn't sell. I offered it to the castle. They didn't want it back. I ended up putting it in an auction, selling for like £600 about 4 or 5 years later, because I didn't have the room for it and I didn't want to keep it. So it swings and roundabouts. I've made some massive losses. I've made some massive gains. But my general working stock, I do okay. But I can also tell you, a friend of mine bought a plate for £16. And I went up to London and I made the front cover of the Chinese auction catalogue for Christie's or Sotheby's, I can't remember which one it was. And they were talking potential £100,000 for a £16 plate. And that was a Chinese porcelain plate that I'd taken up in a bag, in a little bit of bubble wrap, and didn't even think none the second of it, like. What's happened to the 4 huge pistons? They're sitting in my lockup with the other 2. I got 6 huge pistons, and I'm going to be doing a video on them now the summer's here. I'm going to get them outside. I bought all the tools. For those of you who don't know, I bought 4 massive pistons off what have to be a ship. They're huge, or a big, massive steam engine, or something along them lines. And I'm going to polish them up. I bought the glass, I bought the grinders, the tools, the chemicals to eat all the calcium off them, everything. I'm going to turn them shiny and turn them into tables. But they sit in my lockup a minute, and I intend to turn them into tables and then sell them. But they haven't been up for sale yet because I haven't had the chance to polish them. Now, I did look at a few companies to do it, but they were talking like £50, £100 an hour to polish them up, and they didn't know how long they take. So yeah, I didn't go down that road. I thought, well, for that money, I'll buy all the stuff myself. I spent about £200 on materials, another £300 on glass, something like that, £200-300 on glass, to turn them into tables. I just haven't got around to doing it, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to film it so that you all get to see the starting process all the way through to the finished article, and I'm hoping they're going to look amazing. I really am. Right then. Talking about the website, I want to show you, for those of you who like my channel and the antiques and things like that, I've actually got a section on my website. Where is it? There. Basically, in my blogs, you come up across the top there, you'll see blogs. Let me check I'm sharing that. Yeah. And there's an article entitled, Who are the most interesting reseller channels on YouTube? Now, if you come down, similar channels to myself are all advertised through here. You got Nick and Andrea, Kirsten's Curiosities, Treasure Pirate with Heather, Peter Way's Adventures, all the way down. People who were in the same sort of line as myself, I was sharing the details when they sent them to me. All the way down, there's loads of different resellers and channels you can follow and enjoy the content and get, a lot of people do like myself, they do how-to videos, things like that, and help. Then I came down to this bottom one down here, and it wasn't a YouTube channel. This was the gentleman who sent me a ton of jewelry last year. I don't know if you remember, I had a gift off a subscriber last year. It just turned up and it was down the scrap silver, and when I opened it, it was all Danish, Norwegian and Scandinavian silver and enamel, and it was absolutely stunning. I did promote their gallery just to say thank you. It was never agreed or never a payment or anything. It was because they were so kind in what they give me. I promoted their website, like, but that's the only one in the blog that isn't an actual YouTuber. That one down there is the link to the gallery where I done that to say thank you to the subscriber for such a nice gift. If anybody's wondering why I've turned on subscribers only commenting, is because the last few times I tried doing vlogs, if you remember, or live videos, I got spammed and botted loads. So I turned on the subscribers. You have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes now to comment on the videos, in the hope that that stops the trolls, the spammers. That's what I'm hoping. So when do my video antique? When do my videos in antique centers and how the dealers want me? Because I'm selling. Yeah. You try and read that again so I understand it tidy. Dealers want me to ID the cheapest stuff because context helps them sell it. If you can ID with something, tell them how old it is and all the rest of it, then that is exactly what adds value to the items. But I think that's why a lot of people watch my whole videos, because I show you what the item is, talk about the item a little bit, and you know, say what it's worth, and try and give a little helpful. I try to make my videos as helpful as I can. That every YouTuber's got their gimmick, and I suppose mine is I try and help people. I try and share as much knowledge as I can, because if you go back and watch my startup story or my how-to creation story, whatever you want, you'll see just how hard it was for me to learn the antiques trade, because nobody is willing to share the knowledge they got. Everybody is so tight with the information. They don't want to give any secrets away. They don't want to educate people, because that could be the future competition, or you know what I mean. And I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be, well, you come and support my channel by watching. I'll share whatever I can, information to help you. That way is mutually beneficial for both of us. I get the community, the support, and you get any tips and advice I can share. Now, I'm not an expert. Self-taught, and I make mistakes, but I try my best, and I do pick up some nice things. So yeah, there will be cheaper items coming into the videos. There will be cheaper items going on to the website. Check if you like the type of content I put out. Check out my resellers on my blog page. I wanted to ask, before I show all my haul anyway, I wanted to ask what type of content you actually wanted to see. So if it was anybody who actually wanted any particular videos made. Now, it's all right to say I want a how-to video, how to identify something. If I can do them straight away, I will. But if it's a how-to video, how to identify or how to do this, then sometimes it may take a bit of research to make sure that the information I'm giving is accurate. But I'm willing to do them. So if anybody has any content they want me to try and put into the channel, you know, if there's any films you'd like me to do. Now, I did mention I was going to do like question and answer videos and that when I had the shop, but when that shut down and the COVID and everything, I never got around to doing them. But if you've got any ideas of anything you'd like to see on the channel, drop me a message, or, you know, find me on Facebook. It's AntiquesArena on Facebook. You can message me through the website. You can message me on YouTube, and just give any ideas you got. If I can, I'm going to introduce the content into the video. It's the same. I'm looking at channel improvements. If there's anything I do you don't like, particularly that I can avoid doing, then let me know. If it comes to the times of days, then you're in trouble, because at the moment, the baby is only in school half days, and not every day. So it is really hard for me. Normally, I can't film this time of night because of the baby. So I normally film earlier in the mornings. But I can't even say to you when I can film. So I can't say, like a lot of people will say, right, I'll go out every day or every Sunday or every Saturday at 6 o'clock. I can't do it because it's so hit and miss when I can put a video out. It's just potluck. I try and give sort of half hours notice or hours notice if I can. And I post on Facebook. I post on my community tab on my YouTube. I post wherever I can. So if you want to see the lives when I do them, this short notice, but join me on AntiquesArena on Facebook, or subscribe on here and make sure you hit the notification thing so it tells you when I come in on, and that way you'll actually catch the lives, because I'm going to be doing a lot more lives this year if I can, and hopefully I'll have some ideas of content that you want me to cover, and I will try and cover that content for you. John, good move. Well, although the trolls usually find a way to beat best to ignore and move on. You've learned a lot from my YouTube. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. To be honest with you, the last troll we had, I was doing the lives, and he came on that much. He was spamming the comments that much. I couldn't read a comment of anyone else. Everyone was going nuts. I just shut it down. I just couldn't take the pressure, to be honest with you. So, Stan, how to identify Murano glass? Well, that is one I'm actually still working on. And you would not believe how hard it is to identify the Murano glass from the Chinese. But that is one I'm actually working on for you, my friend. I really am. I promise you that. I am actually working on that one. That was one I had planned anyway for this year. How much of your buying comes through networking with other dealers? A lot. I buy a lot off other trade because I'm so well known, or certainly through the winter. Because I'm well known, what I tend to do is I have a lot of dealers I buy off. They keep the stuff in the back of the car or don't even put it out at all. When they see me walking around, they'll call me over and say, "You're interested in this." But that tends to be the dealer items. That is like putting £40 an item, £50 an item aside for me because they know I'll buy it. And a lot of the general public, when you're at a car boot sale, they want stuff for £1 and £2. If I'm buying off the public, then believe it or not, it comes in for pennies. It really comes in for next to nothing. Well, most of what I've had today has come off trade, to be honest with you. Very little of this come off public because public weren't there. But if you actually go back and look at my videos, some of my best buys in the videos come in for like £2 or £3. And that's off public. So, right, I do a lot with trade. I do. I'd say probably 40-50% of my business is buying off other dealers who buy it in for pennies and sell it to me and for a fair price, but making sure there's a good profit on there. Definitely. Hello, tea cakes. Better late than never. Thank you. Welcome. Hello, Stu. Hope you're well, mate. I agree with you, and I promise you, Stan, I will definitely get it done, mate. I really will. Enjoy the randomness of what we find cardboards. I enjoy going to the antique centers and pay and beat the dealer when I try to find it. Yeah. Now, I'm lucky. If I go to my antique center down in Cardiff, I'm so well known, to be honest with you, that I haven't just got to beat the dealer because they want to clear stuff out. I have one particular gentleman. If you if anybody's in Cardiff and you go to the pumping station at all, there's one dealer there downstairs in the back room. His name is Adrian. And he has a nice big open area downstairs in the back room, but he also has a cabinet upstairs. Now, if you ask for Adrian, he will really look after you. Now, I can pick up stuff. Now, you won't get the deals I get, but I took Steve down there, and he was giving great deals to Steve, you know, £30 item, knocking it out to him for 20 quid. If you buy bulk, it gets cheaper. So, yeah, if you're down there, go and look Adrian up. He'll really look after you. But more often than not, I'm so well known, thanks to the YouTube as well as anything else. Plus, bear in mind, I've been in the circuit for 30 years. I was going around the car boot sales with my parents as a child. So to be honest with you, I'm well known everywhere. Everybody knows me. Even if I got to Malvern, it's hard to get through Malvern because so many people are stopping and saying hello. So yeah, that's part of it with me is I'm so well known that everybody just keeps everything for me. But they all work with me anyway and give me great prices. Hello, Catherine Lamb. Would you ever do paid for instruction videos? To be honest with you, I do them free. If someone needed help, then I'd do a video for free. I wouldn't worry about paid videos. If anybody wants to support my channel, the links are in the description. There's free ways of helping and there's a donation thing, but I wouldn't charge for videos. If I can help somebody, I'll do a video for free. That's why I'm asking if anybody got content they want me to cover. If I can cover it quickly, I will. But if it takes a bit of time to do the research and the legwork to make sure what I put out is right, then you'll just have to be patient, but I will get around to doing them. So if anybody wants any videos, I don't know if you've actually checked out my YouTube page. I have an how-to page on YouTube, and I've got some random videos on there, really random, where I've give an example, I've ripped apart silver brushes to show you how much scrap is in the silver brushes, so you'll know if you're looking to invest in the silver, you know how much silver's in the brush. Things like that, weird things like that, or how to read Chinese rain marks, how to test silver with acid, how to test gold, how to identify silver hallmarks, things like that. I do loads of videos like that. Check my how-to section on my YouTube channel. I think I've got 50 or 60 videos in the how-to. But if you want a video made, I won't charge for them. I'll just do them. Just let me know what subject you want and I'll get them done. Mr. Yes. Well, so far it seems to be okay because the trolls ain't in yet, which is really, really nice. Thank you. Take time. I know it's consuming. To be honest with you, the biggest problem I have is time. I haven't sold the shop stock yet. As I said earlier, I've started listing the shop stock on the website. I'll give you an example. If I come to the shop this week, this is all stock that was in the shop. Ignore the gold bangle because that's just, it's expensive. But you're talking like a studio pottery, incense burner, paperweights, Caithness paperweights, and things like that. Cheap things that were in the shop. Curios, little whistle mug, things like that. Door stops. That was all like shop stock, and I used to keep it as interesting as I could. And keep the price down. Well, I've started listing that stuff. Now, I never put anything like that on originally. It was always, I only wanted the higher end on there, but I've had enough people complain to me to say, well, hang on a minute, I'm also missing out here on potential customers. Why am I giving away at car boot sales if people are actually asking for me to list it? So that's why I've started listing it. Anyway, I'll start, show you some of the things I've managed to pick up. And then what we'll do, I'll come back and look at any more questions. Hang on, bear with me. What's that still? How much was I able to save from my water damage crates in the garage? Believe it or not, the last video I done was the last time I went in them outbuildings. However, I have actually started emptying my actual main garage, which never had water damage. I've done one, maybe 2 videos on that, but I'm in the process of doing them. But the problem I've had, I've gone through 4 head cameras. Now, either my head keeps overheating or these cameras are absolutely useless. I'm paying hundreds of pounds for these EP7 and EP8 head cameras that you wear. And I'm going to do a product review on them because the cameras are spectacular. You can connect them to your phone and everything, so you can see what you're recording, so you make sure it's pointing in the right way. They got real crisp pictures, good sound, but yet they keep breaking. And I'm not doing anything with them. All I do, I use them for an hour at the car boot sale or 2 hours at the car boot sale or out the garage, come in, put it back in this case, take the card out and put it in the computer, and that's it. And I think the first one overheated and almost exploded on my head on the first film. I think it lasted 5 minutes and almost melted my face. I phoned up, complained, went absolutely nuts on that when they give me a refund. I sent the item back. I bought the next model up thinking it must be a flaw in the model. And literally, I got the 5th one coming now. And the reason I got to stick with them is because there's no other compatible product on the market. Unless you want a big camera on your head, which I don't. I want one of these sleek little good-looking cameras. There's no others out there, but they keep breaking. So I can't carry on filming. I've got loads of films already made on my laptop. I just haven't had the time to actually edit them because processing, taking the faces out now, takes like 4 or 5 hours of work as opposed to a 30-minute video might take me an hour. So I got videos they filmed for the car boot sale that I just haven't had time to process, but I can't film out in the garage a minute because literally the camera keeps breaking on me. So I got a new camera coming now on the 1st of October. That's the earliest they could get it to me. And I'm going to start carrying on in the garage. But as for the outbuildings with the water damage, I stopped going in there. I just carried on. I got busy with other things and left them. But I am going to empty them all. But I'm halfway through the garage. For the people who want to know about the plans for the building of the office in the garden, believe it or not, planning permission was approved within a month. I'm still waiting on building regs to come back. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, let me just see if there's any more comments not before I get to these bits of stock. But yeah, update is I am going to carry on filming the garage ones. I've done 1 garage one so far, or 2, but I'm going to be getting loads more. I got like 40, 50 crates in the garage to get through. So, and that's all dry stock. So yeah, have a look for them. But anyone who wants to see that, did like sort of my hoarder videos. I have a section, the hoarder videos. Hey, good looks. Nice. It's actually not cut. I just actually took the time to brush it, but thank you. I appreciate it. And welcome, Venus the Militant. And thank you for all the help again and support I've had off you. You've been wonderful as well. Have you ever had... I can't even read that, I'm sorry. I presume that is a designer of something, but I can't even read it. I have no idea. You'll have to simplify that for me. What is it? Glass jewelry designer? I don't know. It doesn't ring any bells with me. Is that Nicholas Mose? Not sure, sorry. The other half collects. Right, Nicholas Moss. If she sees it, definitely good money in the pieces. Okay, you have to tell me what it is. Irish pottery. Right, okay. I will look it up. Definitely will look that up. Thank you for that. Right. Okay. So there's a name for everyone then. Nicholas Moss. Novice years, Nicholas Moss. Right. Snap John. I didn't have a clue. And hello, John. I don't know if I've said hello already, but if not, hello. Would crazy on item put you off buying completely, or can some items get away with having it? To be honest with you, I actually consider crazing part of the item anyway. I class that as part of the patina of an item. Unless it's totally ugly, crazed, and stained, crazing wouldn't worry me one bit. It really wouldn't. To be honest with you, if something looked too immaculate, I'd be more worried. Things have age, and when you're buying antiques, expect to see some age. That's my opinion of it. This nonsense of I want my antique to look brand new, we'll go to a shop, save some money, and buy brand new. Antiques are antiques because they have character, they have wear, they're old. They're going to show signs of age. And I think crazing is perfectly acceptable as long as it's not really ugly, stained crazing. But that's just my opinion. I do have permission to film at one of the car boot sales I attend, and only one. Gethley Gay car boot sale will not allow me to film. I've been told that. Tirabirth is allowing me to film. It's a much smaller car boot sale, but I have had some cracking stuff out of there. But I'm allowed to film on the grounds. I don't show faces and number plates. He's afraid that people will start seeing themselves in the video and stop going to his car boot sales. So it's on the grounds that I blur everything out. That's the only reason. And I can't be like some of these other people that just go in and film and say, I don't care. Because if I lose, there's not that many car boot sales around you. And the ones that I go to are so good. You know, some of the things I pick up, I've picked up Persian rugs there, you know, Iraq rugs and things like that for a $5. You know, I can't lose my livelihood, and that's what it is. It's my livelihood. So I won't sneakily film and things like that, like a lot of YouTubers will, because they only got to watch it on my channel, and that's me out of the car boot sale for good. So I just want to do it. And the organizer has made it perfectly clear I can film, providing I blur everything out. And it literally, I use Adobe Premiere, the elements, and to be honest with you, I can't figure out how to do it tidy and quickly on there. So what I do, once I've edited my video down, compressed it, and uploaded it, I go onto YouTube and blur stuff out on YouTube. But you can only have so many blurs on YouTube. There's an option to blur faces automatically, but there's so many faces at the car boot sale, it'll only allow you to do like 42 objects. Then you have to process it, which takes like a day. Then you've got to download it, re-upload it, and then do the whole process again. Or you can go in manually and just cover a block rather than individual faces, which takes a lot less time. But still a lot of work involved. So what I've been doing, I've been filming, and to be honest with you, I was keeping them more for winter time. If I had time spare, I'll edit the videos and put them out. Because one haul, I have a tamper of gold for like £2. And it's all there on the camera, you know, for you to see me as I'm buying it. But it's the time involved. And during the summertime is when I'm busy with everything else. So I thought I'll film them, I'll save them on the laptop, and when I get time, I'll edit them up and put them out. It doesn't matter how long they take to go out, because there's still the information will be in there for people to see. Right, Spongeway pottery. Okay. Let's have a look here. Bear with me. Let me share this. Let's have a look because it's annoying me now. Let's have a look for marks. Let's have a look what his mark looks like. Right, I've actually seen this stuff in the past. I don't know if I've actually bought it, this Spongeway. Nicholas Moss, pottery jug. Right, okay, so there's the mark. Nicholas Moss, it actually reads Nicholas Moss. There you go. Nicholas Moss, pottery made in Ireland. So if anybody else is watching, because I didn't know what he was, I'll be honest with you, then it's a cracking little tip. Obviously, he's pulling money, so yep. I will definitely be looking out for that. Any tips for dealing with foxing on watercolors? Depends on what is foxed. You can actually pay and have the foxing removed. I would never attempt to remove them myself, for the simple reason, if I've bought a watercolor, then I obviously deem it to be half decent. So I wouldn't want to ruin it because I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing. Now I do know there are videos out there showing you how to remove foxing, but I don't think I'd risk a painting. I'd rather sell a painting with the foxing and let them worry about it, to be honest with you. If the name's good enough and the picture's good enough, you know, if the artwork's good enough, then it'll still sell, even with foxing. But if it's for yourself, then send it off and have it done professionally and don't ruin the picture. That's what I would say. It's not something I've ever done myself, but I can look into it, actually. I've got a pen up here. Send me a... Oh, actually, I'll send myself a message. I will actually look into doing it, and if I can figure out how to do it, I will actually make a video on it, and I'll buy a cheap painting to do it. I'll find a painting with foxing, and we'll have a go. What we at? Yeah, I dread to think the items left because of crazing. Believe it or not, the only thing I don't like doing is buying things with chips and cracks. But even then, there's a limit. If something is seriously rare, and you know you're not going to find them, and I'll give you a fine example. I used to buy off an antique dealer who didn't like being seen in the public eye. So he would go to auction houses and he would spend £500–600 in a day, and he would do hours and hours and hours of work, and he'd sit through the auction, and then he'd come back and I'd sift through what I wanted, and I may pay him the full price for half of what he'd bought, but I get to sift through it. I don't have to do no work, and then eat out the rest then to other trade. Anyway, in there was a plate, and I was starting to learn Chinese porcelain, and it was a plate in 6 or 7 pieces, but it had Chinese writing on the back, Chinese numbers. Anyway, years and years later, I was researching it, and it turned out, I thought, well, that's not Chinese, that's Worcester. And I put it online for £12 because it didn't fit into what I wanted as Chinese. And it turned out it was first period Worcester, within a first year or two of the factory ever opening, when they used fake Chinese marks on Worcester porcelain. And you're talking 1750s. Anyway, the gentleman who wrote the book on Worcester had to open a fake eBay account to buy the plate, because he said anyone who saw him bidding on it would have gone crazy. And this plate was in like 6, 7, 8 pieces, and it sold for over £600. So you have to be careful what you're leaving behind just because of damage. That's the TV's influence. Oh, it's got a chip, leave it there, chuck it in the bin. Recycle world at its best, or throwaway society rather. Now, personally, I've got many things, Chinese porcelain, that's damaged, and I still love and appreciate for the beauty of the item. Plus, sometimes if it's damaged, it will allow you to buy it affordable and think to yourself, well, if that was perfect, I couldn't really justify afford to keep that when I could sell it for hundreds of pounds and put it towards my bills or my profit margin. Where if it's got a chip or a crack, you can say, do you know what? I can love that, and I don't care because it's not worth anything to anyone else, but to me, it's worth priceless. That's the way I look at it anyway. Bleaching foxing is hard to do properly. Yeah, I would imagine it is very difficult, but I look it up and I will have a go, and we'll see just how bad it is and how much I messed up. But what I'll do, I'll find an old picture that is crap or comes in cheap, and I don't care if I destroy it then. At least that way, I'm having a go rather than you ruining your picture. It's their call. I only do antique centers with permission. I'm careful not to include anyone. On private is the call of the owner. Yeah, I agree with you. But that was the terms that they gave me. Yeah. Well, Bridgewater. My mother had a Christmas set in Bridgewater and sold for like £300 within 5 minutes of putting it on eBay. So spongeware is a type of pottery. It goes on the mixture, the ingredients, if you like. It's hard to explain. I have to move even on white, even on white areas, as the shade of white turns out different. It can make it look better though, but I wouldn't do any on a good painting. Right. So what you're saying is when you bleach the foxing out, you still got a discoloration of the white on the paper. To be honest with you, unless the foxing is really ugly, I don't see the problem in foxing, because again, it's just character of the item, and showing its age. As I said, if you want brand new, go and get a print of that picture instead of the original. What did I miss? Hyperpicker, not a lot yet. I haven't shown none of the items yet. And sponge apply decoration. There you go. Even I've learned something, because I assumed it was a different type. Like you have creamware, you have pottery, porcelain. I assumed it was a different type of pottery. So sponge apply decoration. There we go. Right, so I've caught up in the chart, so I'm going to show you some of the things I've had. I'll be here all week. I'm going to start off. I'm not 100% yet. I got to do some research, but I think it's Murano, and it is a beautiful jellyfish paperweight. Large one as well, about 4 or 5 inches tall. And it is formed as a jellyfish. Now, it's got a tiny chip. Talking about buying things with chips, there you go. It's got a tiny chip there. Now, I have, or had, I think he's retired now, a gentleman who worked in Stuart Crystal and run his own crystal factory or crystal place in Aberbargoed. And he used to do all my glass repairs. And he could polish that off. You wouldn't even see it. And he'd charge you like a £5. I think he's retired now. So I got to find a new gentleman, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, real nice jellyfish paperweight. Now, I know there are Chinese copies on the market, but one of the things I do know about Murano is the base has to be not only be ground, has to be polished and finished off really well, which this one is. There is a difference between very finely ground, because you can have it finely ground, but it's almost like a frosted effect, and then polished clear. So I think it's Murano, but again, I need to do a bit more research on it, because I do know there are Chinese copies and that of these jellyfish paperweights. But that one cost me a whole £2, and that come out of Gethlygate Carbotil. So the dollar exchange rate is really poor. £2 is almost like $2. It's that bad. It's like $2.50. Talking about buying things off trade, these two come off trade. So Justin, if you're watching, thank you very much. This is the first. And we have a Mats Johansson of Sweden, paperweight again. And that's how you like to buy them, innit? Boxed with the paperwork. And these are always signed. Well, the earlier ones might not be, but most of them will be signed with the stickers and that as well. So that's the first. I think that's a stalk looking at that. And I'll show you again, but there's the Mats Johansson signature. Some of their prison ones I know are not signed from the early days. There you go, beautiful Mats Johansson stalk paperweight, slab, whatever you want to call them. Now, I paid £10 each for these off trade. But where you're going to get a Swedish glass paperweight in this box with a certificate in mint condition for a tenner. They're not worth fortunes. They're probably worth £30 a piece, something like that. Now, I remember last year at Gethlygate Carbotil, a paperweight of this size in the box was sold for £130. because I called the dealer absolutely crazy and they still bought it. And again, a boxed example. And we have a beautiful bird of prey or hawk. Beautiful. Just love the quality of these Swedish ones. And again, it'll be signed. There you go, if you can see that. Again, I was a tenner. A tenner at the moment is like $11, $12. It is absolutely crazy. So work it out. They come off private off trade, and I bought those. He brought them to me on Thursday in Tirabirth car boot sale. He actually tried them on eBay. I think he's put them on for like £10 or £12 each. And I said to him, because I was talking to him in the week, and I said to him, well, at that price, bring them to me. I'll buy them. They're absolutely stunning. eBay sometimes doesn't make no rhyme or reason. I don't understand it. I really don't. It's sometimes it's crazy. They go and they're gone in seconds, and the money they pull is crazy. And then other times stuff just doesn't sell, and there's no rhyme or reason behind it. Okay, right then. So next, I purchased this set first, and we have a set of silver plate, probably on brass or copper birds. Normally you see these as fighting cocks. I'm not sure what birds these are. Pheasants, I would assume, something like that with the long tails. I had 3 sets anyway, 3 sets for a tenner. So that's the first set. I had another set the same size. Now these are 10, 12 inches long, something like that. So they're a good size, but they're an identical pair. So I can list one with a quantity of 2. So I've only got to do the work once and I get twice the payment. So yeah, they cost me a tenner for 3 sets. The other set is literally that big and I've put them on the car boot sale. They're not good enough to go online. But these, if you look online at silver plate birds, especially fighting cocks and silver plate chickens, things like that, you'll find they range anything sort of from £20, £30 a pair up to like £150 a pair. And I paid a tenner for 3 pairs. So you work it out, forget the little pair because I might get £2 or £3 back. So I've probably paid £3 or £4 a pair for the larger birds, which is absolutely crazy, $5 a pair. So I'm really pleased with them. They're nothing spectacular. They're not, I know that, but if they were fighting and things like that, I'd be much happier. This I love. I love the shape. I love the size. I love the simplicity of this design. Really, really nice. And it is mid-century West German pottery. And all it was stamped was the numbers. 51230. Now, anytime you see that, that tells you the 512 is the shape or pattern number, and the 30 is the size. And the 30 stands for 30 centimeters. And the 512 is the shape and size. Now, it doesn't have to be stamped West German for me to know that's West German pottery mid-century. And that is by Schirach, if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. And you can see the label on there. I bought it from a charity shop, this one, because the car boot sales were that bad. And there you go. I paid £8. So about $10. I don't know what that is on the top. WK11, week 11. I don't know. No idea. But it's in beautiful condition and is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Really like that one. I had another piece from the charity shop. Same charity shop. Today it was actually. I was in shopping in Asda's and I went, oh, I'm going in there. And I had this sort of 1940s, 50s. I don't know if this comes under the series way of Roald Dalton. Or if it's a different section. But it's very similar to the series way. And this one is entitled Home Waters. And you have a nice harbour scene. But this isn't a plate. This is a charger. It's much bigger. I'd say it's probably 12 inches, something like that, 13 inches diameter, I'd guess, where plates are like 8, 9 inches. So it's much larger. It's a charger. It's fully stamped up Roald Dalton. And if you get a line through it, it's a second. This hasn't got no lines or scratches through it. So it's a first. And you can see there, it cost me £6. So yeah. Again, real good condition. Now, this is the type of stuff that is important to have in good condition because it's mass produced. If something's rare, handmade, hand decorated, then people will buy it with damage because of the artistry and the skill involved. Mass-produced stuff like this, if it's not perfect, then I walk away. So yeah, that was £6, about $7, $8. This I liked. A nice bit of Art Deco chrome. We have real nice shape, ice bucket, and I would call them sugar tongs, but they're with the ice bucket, so they're now ice tongs. I don't know why you'd be taking the ice out of there, but yeah, little chrome or silver plate rather. Silver plate ice bucket and a pair of silver plate tongs. They cost me a whole £2. So a nice bit of Art Deco. It's not going to be fortunes. This one, 10. I'll throw the tongs in. Now, if you went to an antique centre, right, they'd probably be asking £30 or £40. But for me, it's going to be like £15 or £20 for the pair. You know, for the ice bucket and their tongs. Now, most of the time I sell drinks-related items and candlesticks and things like that Christmas time. So decanters, ice buckets, candlesticks, all that type of stuff tends to be seasonal for me at Christmas. But I'll buy it all year at a couple of pounds, list it, and then at Christmas I can't keep up with it. I pretty much sell out every Christmas. I've had a little bit of silver. First of all, I had this, which was a broken piece of sterling silver. The clasp in the end was broken. Now, I have actually fixed it. So it is actually a working fixed clasp now. This was all bent up and all around the wrong way. Now all I done was very gently warm it up and bend it back tidy. So it is an actual identity bracelet in sterling silver, 20 odd grams. That cost me £2 and it's not engraved. And these, I'm quite disappointed in the level of jewelry I've had, but you know what? I'll show them either way. I've had 3 sterling silver necklaces for £1 each. But they are very, very nominal. That's probably a Swarovski Elements. That's the first. This one's probably a bit of glass or citrine. Turn it around, get on there. It's a pretty little thing, but none of these are probably worth any more than the £5 if I'm lucky. And then I've had this little silver heart. These won't make it to the website. They're too cheap. They'll go back out on a car boot sale. I think a £5 is too cheap, definitely, for the website. So yeah, I had those 3. But I think that was the extent of my haul. It was seriously disappointing, and that didn't even come in on one day. That was like over 2 or 3 days. You know, you had 2 from a charity shop, privately for the Swedish paperweights, and then 2 boot sales for the other bits. So it wasn't good. Really wasn't. Anyway, let me scroll back up and see where we're at with the chat. That was the extent of my haul. I told you that's why I put a status out this week saying I weren't going to do a video, because it literally just wasn't worth the stock I've had. Right then. Where are we at? I don't know where we are. So we go back to here. Leave Foxing alone on pictures. Richard, hello, my friend. Nice to see you. I know you love your Swedish glass. Well, there's 2. You actually purchased a piece of glass off me, Mats Johnson, quite a long time back. It's a piece of art, beautiful. Which one were you referring to there, my friend? Avoset. Never heard of it. Avoset. It's a bird of prey. I'll look that up. Avoset. Okay. I was thinking, oh well, definitely there you go then. Okay. Love the segment, especially a bird of prey lover. Right. Yeah. Well, hit me up. You know that, Richard. Doorbell rings, have to go. Stan, honestly, mate, for all the support you've given me over the years and the help, thank you very much. And thank you for popping in, my friend. I will see you soon. Golden pheasants. I thought pheasants, to be honest with you. How much will I sell the Murano paperweight for? As long as it comes in as Murano with that chip, probably £20, £25. If I have the chip removed, then it'll probably go up to 40, 45, 50 pound. But with that tiny, it's only a tiny chip, but 20, 25 pounds, something like that, I would think, for a Murano at the moment. I wish there was a better website for studio pottery. There is. I will find it and I will share it in one of my next videos. I've also got a book on studio pottery that I will share in. I think I've actually done a book review. Hang on, bear with me. I think I've done a book review on studio pottery. I have. If I can get the link to that. Cut. Right, I'm going to post the link in the comment box. I've done a book review on the studio pottery book I have. There's the link for you. Cracking book. It's got all this different studio pottery marks, and it wasn't expensive. But that's the link to the video. You can have a look at the actual book before you buy it. Because I did at one point start doing book reviews on some of my antique reference books. Do I find charity shops generally? To be honest, I don't go in them. Hello, Sean. I don't go in charity shops. Ever since the shop near my shop was banned trade, I haven't been in a charity shop. This was the first time. I was up in Asda's today. I didn't have the baby with me, and I thought, you know what? I'm going in just for a look. And I went in and I pulled those two out, and to be honest with you, I absolutely love the West German pottery vase. I love it. That's my favourite item, to be honest with you, of the day. Don't get me wrong, I love the Murano Paperweight as well, but the West German vases for me. There we go. I got a couple of options on the Paperweight slabs. So, let me see. I don't know if I got anything else. Hit me up if you want any content made. I've got one or two there now. Again, if you want any improvements on the channel, if there's anything I'm doing that annoys you or anything you want me to do, then let me know. Check out the website and go to that blog page for the resellers. And I think that was it. I have actually, now you may actually start to see loads of different thumbnails popping up on your feeds. Now, if you haven't seen them and you're a regular on my channel, it may be because I'm actually going through, I've never done thumbnails. I'm not computer literate. By that, I mean I'm absolutely useless on computers. But I have started making an effort in some of the thumbnails, as you'll see from the thumbnail for today's video. And now I've figured out roughly how to do basic thumbnails. I'm going back through them and actually putting a thumbnail and a better title in the descriptions and altering the description a little in the hope that then they'll get more traction. So you may start to see loads and loads of new thumbnails come up. So if you've already seen them videos, I am sorry, but if you haven't, check them out because I've got some cracking videos and some real star lots, to be honest with you. I've had some pieces, you know, but work it out. I was going to spot and spending £1,000 a week for months. So you work out some of that stuff is absolutely nothing but short of spectacular. So unless anybody's got anything else you want to ask or share or say, I haven't really got any more topics I want to cover. I know I'm really, really disappointed with the haul myself. That's why I didn't put it out just as a whole video. I thought there's just no point in doing that. So let me see. Can I do a video on items that have been in marriage, like inkwells and decanters? No, I can do that. I like to find examples to show people what I mean. Now, I won't be doing it on furniture because furniture is not my thing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a novice at furniture. I haven't got a foggiest idea. But I think I have some 18th century drinking glasses somewhere that they've put wooden feet on because they didn't want to throw the glass away. Too heavily taxed on early 18th century glass. Yeah, there used to be a tax on 18th century glass. That's why they invented the air twists, because it was less weight in the glass, less tax. Then they started putting like celery on a vase because there was no tax on food table items as opposed to decorative items, things like that, little things like that. So yeah, but yeah, I will see what I can do on marriage items, see if I can find anything on them for you. Okay, well, it looks like that's about it, to be honest with you. Honestly, thank you all very, very, very much for coming and joining me and taking part and participating. I really do appreciate it. Now, I'm not very excited about my dyslexia video. I tried my best, but I was seriously nervous and struggled. But I do think there's some valuable points in there that will help people if you struggle with reading, like myself. Well, I struggle with going out, I struggle with meeting people, I struggle with reading. But yeah, there are some valid, good, helpful hints and tips and points in there that will help you. I'm also going to do a review on Speechify. I have actually learned how to use the app Tidy now, where it actually reads the books for you. And I'm going to do a full review on this because it is quite annoying. If it's not quite right, it can be annoying because it freezes, and then it changes voices if you lose internet. So I'm going to do a full review on it, but it's cost me £140, so they didn't even give it to me for free. But I'm going to do a review on it because I think it'll help people. But I think there's something in that video for quite a few people who can actually get help on that. It's the same if anybody suffers with any sort of depression, things like that. Myself and Nick, we've done some cracking videos talking about our history and struggles with depression and things. Check them out. They really are good. Richard, I did see a message, and you are free to message me anytime, as you know. And honestly, sending all our love, mate. Can't do any more than that. Honestly, I'm more grateful for the support and for you all just coming and watching the channel. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you can, I appreciate likes, shares, anything that helps the channel to get out there, and I'd be very, very grateful. And thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all on the next one. I'll try and do a few more lives as they go. I haven't got any videos planned for the next few days, so it'll all depend how the buying goes this weekend. So I will see you soon. Bye, guys.